Okay, y'all. So I wanted to go over some of the things that we've been learning in our therapy sessions, okay? So we've had a few sessions. We have talked about communication skills, like how we talk to each other in the family. We've also talked about our emotions and dealing with maybe some negative emotions and how do you cope with those negative emotions. And we talked a little bit about processing our feelings. So I think what y'all been learning is how to process y'all feelings in a more healthy way. So in this part of the therapy, what we're going to be doing is called the generalization phase. So the generalization phase just means we're going to go over everything that we've been learning. Okay? So, and we're also going to learn that whatever skills you're learning here in therapy with your family, guess what? You can do that outside, at school, you can do it in public. Whatever you're learning how to handle yourself in therapy, that also translates to how you're going to handle the world, okay? So that's why it's important to learn these therapeutic skills, because it's going to help you to maintain your composure. It's going to help you maintain your emotional regulation, which that just means you know what it takes to help you calm down, or you know what it takes for you to, get over a distressing situation. So we've been playing a lot of therapy games. Since there's 3 siblings here, I wanted to make sure that everybody was able to participate in therapy. And so we played a lot of therapy games. Those therapy games were helping y'all to reconnect and communicate with each other. It's also helping y'all socially, to the fact that y'all are doing more activities together and playing games together, that's helping y'all socially. It's helping y'all also to have like better conversation, okay? So when we're playing games, I find that y'all got along pretty good because y'all was playing by the rules and y'all were holding each other accountable and y'all were having fun because y'all were learning a new game or y'all were communicating with each other. And even though maybe at the beginning sessions of therapy, Miss Destiny kind of shared that she doesn't always get along with her little brother, or sometimes she don't get along with her siblings. But as the therapist, I noticed when y'all were playing games, y'all all got along. Y'all all cooperated with each other and y'all all got along really well. So I want y'all to remember that y'all can get along. Sometimes it's harder to get along because, things happen. But I want y'all to continue to play games with each other. I want y'all to continue to try to cooperate with each other and communicate with each other, okay? So we were identifying emotions. We were learning what it means to regulate our emotions. We identified triggers. So we identified some things that might make you upset, okay? So what's good about that is if you know what makes you upset, in a way you can almost be ready for it. Not that you always going to be ready for it, but if you know, for example, if you know that Junior aggravates you for whatever reason, you can kind of expect that from him sometimes, and maybe you could be a little patient sometimes and y'all could talk it out. Or it also goes back to Junior or any sibling. If you know that something upsets Junior and you turn around and do it, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's learning about each other. It's also learning your own triggers and your own emotional triggers. Okay? So we talked about communication, we talked about coping skills, we talked about emotional regulation skills. Okay, so our first session was when Destiny stated that she doesn't always get along with her siblings. But like I said earlier, that during the session, she actually did get along pretty well with her siblings. Now, there were some a little bit of conflict, but I feel like between me and mom that y'all were able to kind of settle down, and we always would manage to do therapy. There was never a time where y'all just went off and y'all wasn't listening to y'all mom or y'all wasn't listening to me. So that's a good thing, because y'all always participated in therapy. Okay, so y'all played a game, which I know we played a lot of games, but we played a game that y'all were able to express y'all likes and dislikes, and everybody cooperated, everybody was listening, and everybody shared. So I just wanted to remind y'all that, you know, y'all have been doing a good job with therapy. Okay, second session there was a little issue with the phone. So we had to get rid of the phone because it was a distraction. And we played another game, and we continued to get to know each other. We continued to share our likes and dislikes. And mom was even able to share a little bit about her past and what it was like growing up for mom. So y'all were able to connect with mom during that session. Y'all were able to hear like from her perspective. And I noticed that y'all were real respectful. Y'all listened to everything mom had to say. And mom was able to kind of share, you know, some of the things that she had been through. The third session, we played another game that encouraged y'all to cooperate and communicate with each other. They had some disagreements, again, because y'all are teenagers. But we resolved the disagreements, and y'all were able to work together and continue playing the game. So y'all were continuing to learn about each other, and y'all were continuing to learn about yourselves. Okay, so quick question. Why do y'all think it is important to learn about yourself? Why do y'all think it's important to learn stuff about yourself? There's no wrong answer. Whatever you think, you know, like, okay, so why is it important to know who you are and what you like or what you dislike? Like, why is it important that you get to know yourself? Because, right, we're getting to know each other in the family, but the most important person in the room will always be yourself. Knowing who you are and what you believe and what you like and what you don't like, knowing yourself will actually also help you to get to know others, because you know enough about yourself that you're kind of, confident in knowing who you are. Then you're willing to get to know other people, and you're willing to associate with other people and communicate with other people. So getting to know yourself it's called self-awareness. Okay, knowing like your triggers, for example. I know y'all mentioned one earlier where it's like, oh, when one of your siblings doesn't close your door to your bedroom, like say they come in and then they leave and they don't close the door. So you know that aggravates you. So hopefully before that issue comes up and somebody walks in your door, you can either tell them, hey, I'm gonna need you to close my door, or you can wait. If they have something to say, you let them say it, and then you say, can you close my door, please? Right? Like you're able to communicate because you know what your needs are. Like, hey, I need this. I don't want my door to stay open. So I'm going to communicate. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to get violent. I'm just going to say, hey, can you do this, please? And that's on them if they listen. You know, hopefully y'all are learning, hey, I do want to learn to respect my siblings and, you know, cooperate together, work together, because it's a lot better for y'all, and it's a lot better for who if y'all work together and y'all cooperate with each other. Yeah.
I want to answer the question.
I mean, you can if you want to.
Well, you kind of answered it already.
Yeah, I did, but
No, the other question.
What was the other question?
You said quick question.
yeah, the question was, why is it important to know yourself?
Like, when you know yourself, you get to know others.
Yes, when you know yourself, then you do get to know others, because by knowing and understanding yourself and respecting yourself, right? That's going to translate to knowing and respecting other people. If you don't respect yourself, you probably will not respect other people. Did y'all know that? So if you know yourself, you respect yourself. Look, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that, you talk good. Like, no, we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, but knowing your strengths and weaknesses will help you to also get to know somebody else's strengths and weaknesses. Because guess what? What if your weakness is the same as somebody else's weakness? Are you going to have a little bit compassion and be like, oh, sometimes I get mad too. Like sometimes when my door stays open, I get mad too, or whatever the situation is, you could show a little bit of compassion and understanding. Why? Because you understand yourself and your own needs. And then you could also relate to others that they have their own needs and their own desires. So you're learning about yourself and you're also learning about others. Okay. So the next session, that was an interesting session. That was when one of y'all and mom, y'all both called each other out because of the phone situation. And I took note that y'all were holding each other accountable, that, hey, this was therapy. This was time for us to do therapy. And y'all both were like, okay, let me do therapy. Let me focus on what we need to focus on. And I thought that it was good that y'all were able to hold each other accountable. Okay, because it's not easy sometimes to be called out or to be held accountable. And that day, I remember we discussed some generational trauma and generational cycles that mom was able to share. And she shared that she wanted to raise her kids differently. So that's what she's been doing with y'all. She's been going out of her way to make sure she teaches y'all what it's like in the real world. She's teaching y'all how to clean up after yourselves. She's teaching y'all all the things that's hard, but it's important that you learn, right? Why is it important to learn how to clean up after yourself?
Because you don't want to live dirty and have roaches and all that.
Right, because what if you're living with somebody else? So it would be respectful to keep things up and to keep things clean, because if you're living with somebody else, guess what they're gonna say? Oh, well, this person don't know how to clean. They don't clean up after themselves. So you learning at your home what you got to do in the real world, that's going to benefit you when you get older and you're a young adult and maybe you start living on your own. And also, even if you're living by yourself, cleaning up after yourself is important. You don't want to live in filth. You don't want to live in a mess, so it's important to learn these skills. They're called life skills. All right, so the next session, we brought some snacks. The therapist brought some snacks because we wanted to encourage, the therapist and mom wanted to encourage y'all to do therapy. And I know with kids, snacks is the way to go. So we wanted to use a way of having positive reinforcement. Do y'all know what positive reinforcement is? No.
Positive interaction?
Yeah, so it's a way to interact positively instead of punishing you. So we bring in snacks to help y'all, engage in therapy so that y'all could be a little bit more motivated, okay? So that's showing that I appreciate y'all time and y'all working with me, and mom appreciates y'all time working with the therapist. So we're motivating y'all with good things instead of punishing y'all. Would y'all rather negative reinforcement, which is punishment, or would y'all rather positive reinforcement, right? Why would y'all think positive reinforcement is better? Why? Because you think it's a better motivator?
It gets us to interact more.
Yes, it does. It helps motivate y'all. It helps keep y'all on topic. So if y'all get negative reinforcement or punished, that might make y'all not even like therapy at all, So positive reinforcement is the way to go. A lot of times it helps people with their motivation. Okay, so we played another therapy game and y'all got along again. Every time that we played therapy games, y'all were very considerate of each other. Y'all were nice to each other. Y'all played the game correctly. Or even if we messed up, I think we played Jenga and I messed it up, and then I think Deja corrected me. But anyway, stuff like that. Y'all were still polite. Y'all were communicating with each other, and y'all were communicating with me. And that is a reminder to y'all that y'all can work together. Y'all playing all these games together.